Okay. We're going to have our conversation, our Sunday conversation. Welcome back, Nelly.
Thank you.
Um, and we're going to talk about part of our, um, we're going to talk about a recent review of our book because as part of our marketing plan, we got our book reviewed by a professional reviewer who knows nothing about reflective meditation, maybe not even about meditation. We don't know her background. Um, and it's to help us get our book out to booksellers, to libraries, to really put reflective meditation more on the map or on the map.
And so it was really interesting to sort of see how an outsider, not part of the in group who are here with us today, for example, those of you who know a lot about reflective meditation, but how she saw our book and therefore our practice, which a lot of what she said we really liked.
We liked and we felt, when I first read it, I felt like she used a little bit of different language and was able to focus on different areas of the book that I normally focus on. So it was very touching, actually.
So for the next, I guess, few days, we're going to talk from her review, which is not long, but we extrapolate and it gets longer.
Yes. Yes. So how about I read the first little blurb that she wrote? So, reflective meditation, cultivating kindness and curiosity in the Buddhist company, encourages and provokes the concepts of conversation and reflective meditation. This offers a different perspective and approach to not just enlightened thinking and feeling, but dialogue.
So we both hit on that word enlightened, and it's used in a different way here. She's not talking about enlightenment as a thing. No, she's talking about a way that thinking and feeling and dialogue can become more enlightened.
Right, 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 which is really cool to have that word used in this kind of way, because we've also, been told the book has a lighter feel, like that the conversations could feel light, that but go into very deep Dharma. And that it's interesting that she picked up on that enlightened and used it in a variety of ways. We're pulling out the variety of ways we think she's alluding to.
And when I used to think about that there was such a thing as enlightenment, it had nothing to do with thinking and feeling or
Right,
dialogue. It was some other thing
right.
beyond, higher than thinking, feeling, and dialogue. But that sentence shows that no, thinking, feeling, and dialogue can become more enlightened. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, just the last thing on that word, because it was such a fantasy, in my early 20s, and enlightenment was usually some little man in the sky. He was Asian at the time, like because I was following Tai Chi and Qi Gong, and it was just like a different white beard and man that I was raised with in another way, but that there was a sense of it was just somewhere outside of myself, somewhere far away, really fantastical.
Right. And this is rather different. The practice you've ended up doing and teaching is very different.
Quite, quite.
Quite. So I'll start reading the next paragraph from this review, and then we'll riff off of that as we're going. A fine prologue synthesizes the practice's results by narrating the experience of Kim Henderson, who observed her good friend, the founder of Sati Sangha, Linda Modaro, and her immersion in a practice she called recollective awareness. Should I keep going?
Yeah,
You
you go ahead.
Okay. As Kim witnessed the impact and life-altering results of this meditative process, she was encouraged by her friend to pursue the practice through mentor Nelly Kaufer, a fellow recollective awareness meditation teacher and the founder of Pine Street Sangha in Portland, Oregon.
Right. And in books, most people just kind of blow past the prelogues. And here, this reviewer really picked up Kim's experience of the impact and life altering results of the meditative process.
That she observed in you, her good friend.
I know that was very nice. Yeah.
But no, but, and not no, and yes, also, sometimes it is more observable by others than ourselves because we're in the middle of it and they can have a different perspective on it, which is sort of what we're saying about this review, isn't it?
It is. It is that this reviewer is helping us get another perspective on our practice from her own experience. And that we're then taking that and building on it and actually, making connections and associations and seeing where it lands within our hearts and mind. Because this reviewer is obviously much more distant than Kim, who's a close friend. But there is something about our friends starting to observe something in us that feels really true or right.
Mhm.
It lands a little differently.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a conversation I had with a fellow meditator this week. And before I do it, I want to say she gave me permission to talk about it. I wouldn't do it otherwise. She said, you can tell anyone you want about this. So here goes. So she had a bad accident that really affected her physically, lots of physical pain. But also she hit her head. So it was also a brain injury. And I didn't know this, but this happened a while ago, like a month or two, probably two, but it really put her into the the mental hell realms. I'm not sure about emotional, actually. She didn't put it that way. But what she did say is she just like vividly was remembering all the horrible things that had happened in her life. That sounds like a hell realm to me. But what she wanted to tell me, and actually how she started the conversation, she's very excited to tell me that it was really reflective meditation that really saved her. And that might have even been her words, I'm not sure, but made it all possible. And she was very excited about it now that she was not in the hell realm. She was able to talk about it because she really couldn't even relate when she was in it. She was so sick, really. But she just used those words. She said it was really different to go through this with gentleness, curiosity, and permission. And by the way, I felt quite what's the word, relieved, maybe it's not quite right, to hear the story, because I know this happened to me and can happen, this happens, and it happens maybe more with medical aging stuff. And it's really good to know that the practice served her in a really awful time.
Right. And Nellie, that sense that it appeared and accompanied her through the hell realm. I mean, this is part of the friendship-based, nature base of our practice, is that it'll go with us, when we travel to different countries.
Okay. I'm not buying a plane ticket to that country. Sorry.
But this also goes back to the let's say conversation and dialogue that you had between yourself and the meditator. Like, she was excited to tell you about this.
And I really took, again, relief, inspiration, I'm not sure the right word, but it impacted me in a way about my own life and my own experiences. Gave me hope is actually maybe a better word.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say it, Nellie. I'm kind of tagging on to that experience because, as I was talking about with Kim, the long-term friendships and people see these things happen with us, and the dialogue goes on over years. And so I was even surprised the other day to, oh, I see we're at 9:10.
But we'll go a little over and finish up. Keep going, I'd say.
Okay. Well, just on our walk the other day, Kim was just talking about, wow, what happens to you when you encounter dukkha is really inspiring to see and hear, because you're not folding or hating yourself or hating the world or the situation. She said you actually can think and feel through it. and that you can then take care of yourself and take actions that normally wouldn't when you get slammed with dukkha. So it was something that I might even take for granted within our practice because we've been doing it for a long time, and that starts to happen unbeknownst to us even.
So, hey, Linda, we're talking a lot about how the practice serves us when we're in hell realms, when we're in dukkha. Tomorrow, you better talk about how it serves us when positively, because there's a, or you don't need to. But I just want to mark it really as, we're going this direction, but we just as easily could have spoken for this much time and more about how it's uplifting and positive. So, and the last actually experience we want to mark is like that. I got a generous, Pine Street Sangha got a generous Dana check in the mail with an attached Post-it note from someone who's, quite involved with us. And the Post-it note said something like, "Thank you for offering," the Daily Online. "Thank you for offering this. It has changed my life." Wow, that was an inspiration and an uplift, and really keeps my energy up for teaching as we are now.
And if she had never had said it, we wouldn't have known it. So it's just really, it's noticeable, and it's when you share that back with us, it gives us much more energy to keep going.
Which is not a thing to say you need to give us lots of
Yeah.
kudos. Don't take it that way, please, please, please. But just, it is interesting to hear how this practice is impacting your life.
Yeah.
And if it's not impacting it so well, we want to hear that too, by the way. Okay, so we're not too bad. We're time to meditate. I mean,